This video is not sponsored by Shell, even though we're going to play a lot of shell chords in this video. So I'm going to teach you how to play shell chords, and often when we play jazz piano we focus a lot on the right hand, but this video is going to be all about the left hand. So now I'll play for you a clip, and now please pay attention to how I play with my left hand. So those were the shell chords. They are very much used by many jazz pianists, so let me teach you the basic principles. What you do is that instead of playing a full chord like this, for example, you play just two notes. And usually we play the 1 and 3, or 1 and 7. And if it was C7, you can play like this. And of course you can play the third, but what is more commonly to do is to move it up a whole octave. So you play the root and then the third up here. Now it becomes the 10th. So if I want to play a C7, I could play it like this. It depends on the context. The first exercise I'm going to show you is how to get this into your hands. So as I was saying, you can play a C7 like this. And then the next chord could be an F7, and then you can play that like this. And then we're going to go through the circle of fifths. So the next one now is a B flat, and then so on and so forth. Let me play that for you with a metronome, and we'll have a look. All of the chords that I played for you now, I consider to be seventh chords. Another way to play the seventh chords is to play the seventh and the third only, like this. But that is more common to do if you play with a bass player, so can I have some bass on this, please? Thank you. So instead of playing now the root, you play the 7th to 10th or 3rd, right? So this is now a C7. The bass player is playing the C. And then the next chord is F7. And then what you do is you move everything down a half step. So now you only play a tritone. But on the first chord you have the 7th at the bottom and then the 3rd. And now you have the opposite. So now you have the 3rd at the bottom and then the 7th. One more time. And that is also good to drill into your hands, so let's do that quickly. But let's go back to the first one where you did like this. What is also very interesting to do is to add some swing, and also what we should do is to play it one half step above. So now instead of playing C7 to F7, you play D flat 7 to G flat 7, and so on and so forth. So let's do that now with the metronome and add some swing. In the next exercise, we're going to combine the two ways of playing the shells. So now we're going to play 3 notes. So instead of playing just like this or like this, we're now going to play like this and we're going to play like this. So let me explain it. It's still on C7, right? But if you're used to play a C7 like this, where you also add the 5th, I suggest that you stop doing that because it clashes with whatever you're doing in your right hand if you want to play improvisation and add altered notes like this. It crashes a lot. And it doesn't sound that good in my opinion and many other jazz pianists' opinion. Of course, you can make up your own opinion, but if you study the masters, they rarely add the 5th to the chords. Anyway, let's speak about this exercise now. And what you should do is to play 1, 3, and 7, or 1, 7, and 10th. And then we're going to combine it through circle of fifths again. So the first chord is, let's say the first chord is a C7. That leads well to an F7, right? But now you can play the C7 up here. And then that leads to an F7. So now you just move these two down a half step, right? And then you move this up a fourth. And with a metronome, it's going to sound like this. This too, you should also practice in all of the keys, so start up a half step on the next one, right? And then once you've done that, then you can move on to play 2-5 progressions, and that is, if you play in the key of C, for example, then C is the first chord, the 1 chord, the D minor is the second chord, and then the 5th is a G7 to C again, so that is the first chord. But now let's focus on the 2 to the 5, right? So 2, which is D minor 7, to G7, which is the 5th chord in the key of C. But now instead of playing the 1 chord, we're going to play 2-5 in the key of B flat, right? So now we're going to move down whole steps. So the next one now is going to be 2-5 to B flat. And then you continue the same way. Also, this exercise you should practice in all of the keys. So once you have done playing from D minor 7, G7, try to move it up a half step. And then I also suggest that you practice it chromatically. So now instead of going to C minor 7, you can go and so on and so forth. Some of you who are watching this video now may think that this looks cool or sounds cool. However, you have a problem where you cannot reach the 10th, so your piano keys are simply too wide. What you can do then is that instead of playing it in one go like this, you can roll it out like this, fast, or you can play like this. That's a C major 7 now. It's harder to play if you also add a note in between than if you just play the 10th like this. Either way, you have to do like this. I'm saying that you have to, but there are different solutions for this topic as well, and I'm going to cover that in another video. For now, that's what you'll have to do if you want to practice this in the keys and your piano keys are too wide. Let's move on now to the last exercise where you're going to play 2-5-1 progressions. And 2-5-1 progressions is, of course, if you play a D minor 7, for example, to G7, to C major 7. When you play shell chords, you can play C like this, so 1 and 10, and then you add the 5th, or the 6th, or the 7th. In this exercise, I'm going to show you we're gonna do both. So we're gonna play like this. So that's 2 5 1 to C, and then we're gonna play 2 5 1 to B flat. So varying from playing the major 7th to the 6th. I'm going to play that for you now, and I'm going to play it from the key of D flat, and then I'm also going to add some more music to it, so it's a little bit more fun to watch. Let's have a look. Once you have done these exercises, then what you can do is to practice the shells in jazz standards, and I'm going to show you one thing that you can do, which is fairly easy to get started with. And that is if you play, for example, this famous tune. What you can do is to play very simple with your right hand, and then with your left hand you try out these shells. And also you're going to add some passing chords. So for example, between the first chord and the second chord, you can go up a half step above, which is very often used. So now, instead of playing like this, I go up a half step before I land on that B flat minor 7. I sometimes add a minor chord, like this, or a major chord. So now it's going to be like a B major or B7. And then move on with the same principle. So now it's an E7 to that E flat 7. Here you can do the same principle again. So now it's going to be an A7 before the A flat major 7 to D7 before the D flat major 7. And then ideally you also want to add some swing once you have gotten this into your hands. So let me play that for you now. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe and share it with your friends. You can download a summary together with some exercises by following the link in the description. And also, if you're one of my many students of the Jazz Piano Step Step course, you can download play along tracks where you can practice together with me. And speaking about practicing together, on my website you can also sign up to my free live training sessions where you, me and many others are gonna literally practice together. So I hope to see you there. Whatever you do, take care of your music, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.